Yo, it's your girl DJ Baby Blue Diamond, and you tune in to U3 Radio, Underground, Unsigned, and Unknown. And we have a very, very, very special guest in the building, all the way from St. Louis, Mr. Rob Redeem.
What's going on?
He's been on our show before, but it was virtual. Now we are in person, live, living color, like this.
Right? Yeah.
Man, it's been a long time since we met. Well, known each other. You doing music, man. I always call you the Christian rapper that can outbar any rapper. And they will look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "No, I'm positive."
Yeah, I've been on a couple of your ciphers that I made the cut. So that was good to rock with the other brothers that had the verses on there. So that was dope.
And you're one of the few artists who would do that, because a lot of Christian artists, they want to stick with their Christian realm, but you're like, no, it's okay. You can add me with the other ones, which is very different. So why is that? Do you feel like you can reach people that way too?
I mean, that's one way of looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, it's just like I just remember being on the other side, and so many times you get Christian artists or Christians just period who like look down on somebody who's struggling. Even though if they're a Christian, they struggling with something right now.
Yeah.
But they peeping up this persona. So like when you send that offer, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna try to give her the best bars I possibly can for this cipher so I can make it. So yeah, I still got the article when you was like the text. He was like, you're the only Christian rap, you're the only non-secular rapper on the track. So that was.
I was like, do you want to be by yourself or do you want me to add you in? He was like, no,
add it. Just to show respect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like. I don't know, you showed love over the years, like, you know, and whenever you play my songs on the countdown at the end of the year and cats hear the songs, I always see the comments like, yo, it's Christian, you know what I mean? So that'd be super dope, you know, just the love to come back from it.
Now, Christian music has changed a lot. You have the traditional, if you want to go back to like the old time church with the clapping of your hands up in your feet. Then Kirk Franklin came, changed it up a little bit.
Right.
But now we have other artists coming in, really changing up, like the Lecrae's and Bizzle. Do you feel like there's a line that should not be crossed with Christian music? For instance, A1, you want to talk about Kanye. You know how Kanye flipped a lot of the hip hop R&B songs, made it Christian, and some people like, nope, can't touch it. You feel like there's a line, or you feel like it's okay?
I guess my only line would be from the standpoint of I don't care, like if you collab, because you just never know who's gonna get reached from the collab. Like Kirk Franklin and Lil Baby got a song, We Win, off the Space Jam soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's on one of my playlists. You know what I mean? So I don't look at it as only lines I hate that gets crossed when you get a Christian artist who gets so far up and then want to tell everybody else Christian rap is whack because you're not in their clique. Because I feel like, okay, they get to the pinnacle and close the door.
Yeah.
But when you look at the other side, it's about the bag. And nobody ever does that to anybody. So you see all the collabs. You see Migos and Drake. You see Lil Baby and Drake. You see, Pooh Shiesty with some folks. Like, I know the popular artists because my kids listen. And if we ride, and I'd be like, yo, play the songs. And I'll listen and see what's going on and hear some of the bars. And, like these cats, some of them spitting, some of them, they gimmicks in my opinion. But I don't think there's a line crossed unless you like cursing in your rhymes as a Christian artist. Now, if you're a regular artist and you cursing, hey, do what you do. But if you're a Christian artist and you dropping F-bombs and saying certain words, I don't rock with it. To me, that's crossing the line. But I'm not going to look down on that man or woman who decide to do it. I just agree to disagree.
Now, you mentioned collabs and doing how hip hop artists always quick to collab with each other. I see a lot of Christian hip hop artists who really don't collab like that. Why is that? You feel like they just keep to themselves? They're not.
I don't know, because like the CHH world, it's like a subgenre of a bigger genre.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people honestly just on some, I don't want people to like eating off CHH ain't very popular. You know what I mean? Like, unless some of the people you named, the Lecrae's, the Bizzles, Flames, some of those folks who are doing it, NF, if you will, they don't want to give up the plate. You know what I mean? So I think that's the biggest thing within the CHH community. Folks don't collab because they don't want that fan base to, or they just don't rock with them. Just, crab in a bucket sometimes.
Now, as far as support in general, because
Mhm.
I tell people this all the time, and they always tell me to stick to Christian music. I get more support from Christian artists than I do hip hop and R&B artists, which is crazy. But I don't know why I won't switch. I kind of know why, but I don't want to leave behind, my hip hop and R&B fans. But that's weird that I do get more support from the Christian artists than regular people, which I would never expect that. But
I don't know. I think from the standpoint from a Christian artist, because it's like U3 Radio. Like when I first met you, I'm like, yo, she got a dope show. Because I think we met about, we was talking about before we went on, maybe about 5 years ago, somewhere around there. And I'm like, oh, she got a dope show, U3 Underground Hip Hop, Unsigned Unknown or whatever the case may be. But you was given a platform. For Christian artists, we don't get a lot of platforms. So you're going to get that support, because it's like, yo, here go another platform where I can speak and my voice be heard. Where a regular artist would be like, yo, that platform ain't big enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not knocking you, because
I get that a lot.
we all start.
I get that a lot.
And I have a podcast I'm a part of, me and my bro C Micah. It's big artists that won't come on because we don't have enough followers. And that's the bottom line. Like, the lights, if you don't have enough followers, they don't even want to give you time.
I agree with that 100%, especially with Christian hip hop. There's a lot of platforms for Christian music, but Christian hip hop specifically, there's not a lot of platforms. I agree with that. Now, you mentioned your podcast. UNC Micah has a podcast, Not the Same Podcast. How did you come up with that name?
Pandemic. Like, real talk. I was stuck. I was quarantined for 3 months, so I did telework for 3 months.
Oh, yeah, because you work at the airport.
So, so with the government, the airport was still open.
Okay.
So I was running a whole location from home. So I still had officers who answered to me or whatever the case may be, but I'm doing it from home because I'm high risk, cancer survivor. So when the pandemic hit, it was like, oh, if you high risk or low immune, stay at home. So me and C have been talking about the podcast, and we was like, yo, let's just do it. And then went from us being on the phones, like I'm on my Samsung S20, he on his iPhone, to what we have now. It's full-fledged, like backdrops, lights, and microphones, and it's fun. Like, so Not the Same Podcast, sports, faith, and music, and we talk about everything, not just Christian music. Like when the J. Cole album dropped, like we did a whole review on it because it shook the whole music world, not just secular, but Christian artists was retweeting this joint. So we did a thorough review. We listened. Joint was dope. You know what I mean? I do say some of it was a little overrated because it was cold.
Yeah.
I will say that. But I mean, it's bar heavy, is what you expect.
Sports, faith, and music. Yeah. What is your favorite out of the three to talk about?
All of it, because we clowns. Like we laughing. Like as soon as the show come on, we laughing and just having a good time. And we got the one word, like we can't drop the N-bomb on the air. So we'll be like, yo, these one words be tripping. You know what I'm saying? So like everybody, like the fan base that we've grown, they know what one word is. Yeah. And we're not afraid to touch the touchy subjects. Like when George Floyd got killed, like we like when he got murdered, like we talked about that. Like anything that's happening, we don't stray away from it. We don't stray away from it, and we touch like those sensitive subjects. So like all of them, I have a good time with all of them because that's my best friend. I know that may sound corny, but yeah, I got a grown man with a best friend, but me and that dude like this, and that's my brother. So yeah, we have a real good time.
Have you got any backlash yet?
No, I'm sure it's coming. You know what I'm saying? Because I can be ratchet sometimes. Like, like C grew up in the church. I'm a heathen. Like, I'm serious. I got 5 kids, 4 different mothers. So like, and I had my kids before I graduated. I had 2 kids before I graduated, and been married twice. So me giving my testimony, I bring that standpoint. Like, C is a PK. Yeah. Where for me, I came from the streets, and that's where I grew up and did all these things. But now, like the love of Christ shining in me, that's the reason why I said earlier, I don't think it's a line because I don't look down on nobody. That's why I didn't have a problem with jumping on those ciphers because I was that dude, or before all this.
Yeah. Now, did you think about doing any other music besides Christian? did you start off doing?
R&B, like that was the biggest thing.
Oh, you can sing?
Yeah. No, I ain't gonna do it live on the.
No, I'm not gonna call you out. He's like, wait. He's like, I've seen your episodes before. He's like, wait, let me not say yes. I didn't see you.
No, I can. And actually, this last project, me and my partner C Micah, who the podcast with, we have a song on there called "Worship You," and I'm actually singing the hook. And then this upcoming project, I'm doing a lot more singing to show the world, like, yo, I can do both. It's just I'm a little more shy with the singing because for personal reasons, you know what I mean? I'm better now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll actually open my mouth and sing now.
Did this joint mixtape come from the podcast? Is that why y'all decided to do it?
No, it was it's actually an LP. It says EP, but it's 10. It's 10 of them on there. No, it was just in the making. My last project, Meat Music, we had a song on there called Flexing.
Yeah.
And that joint skyrocketed. I mean, because everybody was putting it on their workout playlist. Because the video theme is me working out, and see, he played college basketball, so he playing ball on there. And so like that mug just shot through the roof as far as plays on, as far as streams go on Spotify and whatnot. So that was pretty cool. Spotify, hey, look, for any artists listening, Spotify ganks you out your money, bro. Like, try to sell your music off your website, because them streams ain't where it's at. I'm sorry, I just had to put that out there.
I guess he's having problems with Spotify. I don't deal with them. Luckily, me, I haven't dealt with them yet.
Unless you Drake.
One day I will.
Drake ain't having no problems with Spotify right now. They gave him a whole plaque.
So. All the biggest artists
right,
killing it. Is there any artists you would like to collab with that you haven't collabed with? I know you have a lot of guests on your show. So have you had any guests where you're like, one day I'm going to collab with them or do something with them?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I collab with anybody. That's just the way I am. And if I collab with a secular artist, the only thing I always ask is, yo, like, can it be one of your clean songs?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to, I said I'm ratchet, but I do got my lines and boundaries. But, you know, if you say like, you know, dang or something like that, but if you B's and H's and F's, then I'm like, nah, bro, that one ain't for me.
Yeah.
You know,
that makes sense.
But no, I can't think of nobody right off the bat right now that I can say I would want to collab with. If you name some people, I'd be like, oh yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah. You have a title for your new project you're working on?
Yeah, it's actually Meat Music Volume 2.
Meat Music Volume 2.
Because the last one was Meat Music Volume 1, and then Volume 2. I'm shooting a video for the song that I have off the collab project called Work. And you actually played that joint on the countdown. Right? That's the one that got a lot of comments off of your year-end countdown. So we shooting the video for that August 7th. So that's gonna be super dope.
That's a good song.
Yeah.
Work. Man, I can't wait to see that video. I'm just envisioning.
Yeah, the visuals gonna be crazy.
So are y'all gonna cross that line with the visuals? Because you do talk about, you know, some stuff that
people money phones
don't want to talk about, but
money phones. It may be a cameo of a woman, not too much. It ain't gonna be no twerking, but Worth explains that, like the social media craze and what people put their worth in. So you got to put it out there to be authentic. You know what I mean?
Did your whole social media change when the pandemic hit? Were you relying on it more?
No, I actually just got completely off of it.
Okay.
Like the pandemic, it's like when the pandemic hit, because I was forced to stay in the house, you know, you got to look in the mirror and a lot. So it's like you just stuck. So I actually shot a video in the pandemic with my phone. That's the videographer, my son in the studio. So he shot the video from my phone. And it was my testimonium. It's called Diagnose. And that's when I got diagnosed with cancer. And we shot the whole video in my house. Like we went in the basement. I set it up like an apartment, set the living room up like the hospital when I had the IV and whatnot in. So yeah, that was fun. But that was about all that came. And then the podcast, other than that, nah.
Okay. How did your outlook on life change when you got the news for cancer?
I got diagnosed with cancer and I was going through a divorce at the same time. So my outlook on life was F the world. You know, everybody that I thought, like my church family that I thought was just so with me, turned their back on me.
Yeah.
So that's where Rob Redeem came from, because before that, it wasn't no Rob Redeem. It was just, you know, everybody called me Stan by my middle name. So I was like, man, F the world, F the church. Not God, the church. So I went back to smoking, drinking, clubbing, strip clubs. Like I was doing everything because I felt like I wasn't gonna live anyway.
Yeah.
So I was wilding big time. And by the grace of God, I'm still here fully in remission.
Well, congratulations.
Oh, yeah,
Glad
for
that
sure.
you're here making that good music that we love. Man, what's next for the podcast? I know y'all got bigger and more stuff. I know you probably don't want to tell all your secrets.
Oh no, it's all good. The podcast is just growing authentically, like organically. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to buy bots. Like Tatashi 6ix9ine, like he bought all those bots to make it look like like how he bought all those bots to make it look like his music when he got out of jail was doing more than what it was doing.
All those people sitting there on the phone.
Right. Like we don't want that, and we welcome anybody in. You know what I mean? So that's what's next for the podcast for us. Just bigger and better things, and trying.
But yeah, added a new segment. Not the same Bible study.
Yeah.
So what made you add that to the pod? What made you add that to the podcast, and what is that about?
So the Bible study is exactly that. It's the first and third Tuesdays, and it's called Not the Same. And then we got the podcast slashed out Bible study. So what we do, we take our same personality and then break it down. So where like anybody can understand where we're coming from, but we still goofy. We're not so
Uptight with it.
uptight that
Old school.
right. Like it pushes you away. It actually draw you in. And we still, the difference with our podcast is we interact with the people. So like if you type something up and we see it, we put your comment up, and we do that on the Bible study also, but we can't get too deep into the Bible on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's still Christian based, but we got our segments and we go through our segments, but the Bible study, we can focus on the main thing, which is, what I'm saying, death, burial, resurrection of Jesus Christ and what he's done for us, and then breaking down the Bible, because so many like, well, man made the Bible. So we kind of debunk some of the myths that people put out there.
Okay. Well, since you mentioned that, because we had a discussion on my podcast yesterday about women, how a lot of men always say women are gods. But then this TikToker, a female, said women aren't gods because men is actually the one that helps produce life. Women can't produce life without men. I just want to know we don't have to go too deep in it. I just want to know your thoughts on that subject of people saying women are gods, men are gods.
Yeah, first of all, ain't none of us gods. I'll put it that way. And if you think you're a god, whatever, you're a little G. OG is, the true and living God. But as far as what you're talking about, we can't do it without each other. That's just bottom line. Like, like God made man, and then he made, woman from man so that we can be together, and then reproduce, replenish the earth or whatever the case may be. So, I mean, I will say this, if you got a woman, treat her like a queen. You know what I mean? And for a woman, if you got a man, treat him like a king. Like treat each other right, because you can't do it without the other, regardless of what's going on nowadays. And I'll leave it at that.
Now you say you was married, divorced, divorced now?
No,
married now.
Married.
So now you're married, you have a lot of kids. We're not going to disclose the number.
Five boys.
All boys, no
two
girls.
Two bonus kids.
How do you make it work? Because you work, you have your family, plus your podcast, your music. How do you balance? And two pit bulls. How do you manage all that? How do you make it work?
I don't know. Sometimes I ask myself that question. But my boys are, I don't know. I feel like all my boys are truly daddy's boys. Okay. Of course, they love their mother. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, even now, like I'm down here on the father-son trip with my son. And so we got a chance to link up. But I make it work because that's what I want. Because I had a stepfather and a father, and I'm not knocking either one of them because we're in a better spot now. But neither one of them one words was there when I was younger. And I'm my only child, you know what I mean? So having all the kids and their brothers, I try to make sure. Now, my two oldest sons saw me when I was still running the streets, and I wasn't really there. I was a baby daddy then, you know what I mean? And as I got older and more mature, I became a father. And that was the biggest difference. And my relationship with my two oldest boys, we straight, you know what I mean? Compared to when I was younger, I'm 18, 19 with with kids. I wasn't thinking about babies then. Like I said, I was just a baby daddy, but now I can honestly say I'm a father to my kids.
Have any of your kids got the bite of the music bug yet? Any of them doing music?
None of them doing music. They all love basketball, with the exception of one. They all are musically inclined. Like they got an ear for it.
Okay.
My three youngest who are at the house now, which is 17, 16, and 13, they had a little group back in the day. I can't think of the name of the group.
Were you in the group?
Yeah, he's one of them.
What was the name of it?
What's the name of the group?
You shy? You ain't trying to say it.
Yeah, Bros for Life.
Bros for Life. Man.
So yeah,
what y'all do? Hip hop, R&B?
Yeah, it was rap. They was rapping. So, and my 17-year-old, he said he wanted to do a song or two. We'll see.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be dope.
I like that. Bros for Life.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Basketball. Let's talk about basketball. Cause it's the finals.
Yeah.
You have your team. Are we not gonna suggest go there?
No, my team, Miami Heat. Like I've been a Heat fan before LeBron got down there. I was a huge D Wade fan. Okay. So before D Wade, Scottie Pippen. So I ride today out the league. You know what I mean? So right now I'm just a fan of the game.
Okay.
So I want to see Chris Paul win one. But at the same time, I want to see Giannis win, because I don't feel like Giannis gonna get back if he don't go, and Chris Paul, if he don't get it, he ain't going back.
Yeah, so that's a tough decision.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the new 2K cover?
Yeah.
Are you feeling it?
It don't bother me. Like it's rocking at 2K. First woman, Candace Parker.
I know a lot of people wanted. They wanted what's the name on there? Kobe. They thought Kobe was gonna be on it.
I mean, Kobe was already on the case. Like,
exactly,
he already was on the cover. You can't put Chris Paul on it. He was on the cover. Like, you only can recycle so many covers. Giannis, he was on the cover already. But my son was telling me it's going to be multiple covers. So Candace is on one, Luka's on another one, and they've done that before also. But I think it's dope Candace was in it. So, yeah, Candace a beast, especially when she was with the Sparks. Not so much now with the Sky, because she playing Chicago now.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Are there any female hip hop artists you can put us on to? Because besides Tarcia Renee, I know none.
Yeah, you would give me this one. Right.
Why is there that many female?
No, it is like, and where my phone at? Like, I had to pull out my phone.
That's fine. Let us know.
No, okay. So you got like Wande, you got Angie Rose, you got we played a young lady tonight, and I can't even remember what her name was. She was a feature, but it's a bunch of dope female artists out there, and they all have their own niche and their own sound. Like they don't sound alike. So, and they're not trying to sound like Megan, Cardi, or Nicki, or Doja Cat. Like they really sounding like themselves, and that's kind of dope to me.
I like that.
Yeah,
man. So you have been on my ciphers.
Yeah.
On my Christian mixtape.
Yeah, I actually did the Christian intro.
The Christian intro.
And the Christian mix, the videos. I also wrote the song for that too.
Yes, for the music videos. I was about to say that. Yes, when I did music video DVDs. And you in my magazine. Man, how's it feel to be recognized?
That was dope. I was a little salty when I saw that hardcover, and I didn't know them one joints was out, but we'll talk about that another day. You pull that mug out like, sign this. I'm like, where mine at? Like, yeah.
We're going to ship that to St. Louis ASAP.
Hey, y'all quote on that, please. I'm gonna get on your message the next show and be like, where my magazine at? No,
where's it at? At the dope. But how is it to be recognized in general, not just by me, but to get that recognition for doing your music and the way you came so far?
I think it's dope. The dopest thing about it is because I'm not signed and I'm not really known. You know what I mean? But when somebody from international, when somebody from Africa hit your DMs and tell you, yo, bro, this song right here inspired me to write this, or somebody from Australia or England, like overseas, like the internet is like crazy how you can get fans elsewhere. And then for me, I'm not worried about the monetary side of it. It's the fact that, my son, my song, my testimony, like inspired that dude, you know what I mean? Or inspired this young lady to keep moving forward. When Diagnosed dropped, a Christian site put it up, and that mug ran up to like 5K in less than a week. It's for now it's big for a non-signed Christian artist, for any artist anyway.
Yeah.
5,000 views like in less than a week. And I just saw all testimonies. Like I really needed to hear this. I get my diagnosis tomorrow. I'm like, it was impactful. So yeah, that's words can't explain it.
What's next for you? Now I know you mentioned the ages of your kids that are in the house and they're at the age but they're almost out the house.
Right.
So what's next for you? Are you gonna be that lonely nester you and your wife?
Nah. No.
Travel more traveling, right?
Probably more travel.
Does she do music? Is she into music?
No, she does fashion. So she actually has a
so she's the reason why you dress fly.
you know what? I'm not gonna even stunt. She did hit me on, especially with my work clothes, because you know I have to dress at work. Like I'm always suited up with but she taught me the game and I just took it and ran with it. So a little bit too much. I kind of went OC on the buying of the clothes, but yeah. What's next for me when they're out? I'm still young. You know what I mean? I have my kids at a very young age, and I'm not praise God, I ain't bent over and barely making it up and down. So I'm still active, still in the gym, still playing ball, still playing video games, still waiting for the next J's to drop. So yeah, I'm good.
What's your go-to video game?
2K.
2K.
Like flat out, I'll play 2K, my player, by myself against the computer and be content for hours. Am I lying? And I'm in my own zone.
Okay, besides 2K, what do you like to do outside of music for fun? I know you always with your family.
Yeah, with the boys. Right now we're doing dog training for the pups. Teaching, obedience, bite training, like getting them ready to protect the home if I'm not there. Other things I do, travel. Like I'll get up and jump in my car and drive to Dallas.
Oh yeah.
In a heartbeat.
I believe it.
You know what I mean? Like, and they'd be like, "Where you at?" "Oh, I'm in Dallas." I'll be back.
No plans. I believe it.
Yeah. So that's just me.
That's what happened today. Yeah. I got a text out of nowhere. Oh, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Text you this morning like, "Yeah, we just touched down in your city. What you got going?" So that's dope.
It is dope, man. Well, thank you, Robert Dean, for being on U3. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
In person. You're doing a lot of great stuff. I wish you much success with your podcast, you and C. Micah. C. Micah, you got to come on my show one day. I should have punched you in. I should have been like, come on, man. But you got to be on our show one day. Definitely y'all two together. That'd be absolutely dope look. And you should get on my other podcast, the Where You Ask podcast, not the Sex podcast. But the other podcast.
See, that's why I get in trouble, because I come on the sex podcast. That's the difference between, like I said, I'm the ratchet one. So I went to ask you to come on there. I come on there and talk about stuff like that.
Because it's crazy to mention that we had a sexologist, but she was a Muslim sexologist.
Oh.
Exactly. So she talked about how, she just want to make it more comfortable in her community. Hers wasn't more like what we think of sexology. Hers was more sex education, how to teach the kids, how to take care of your body, use protection.
Right.
But she wanted to make it more comfortable for her religion to talk about it. Because certain religions, especially the Christian religion, Christianity, they scared to talk about it. My church, they say you don't do it. That's it.
Right.
They don't tell you how to protect yourself. So she's more, let me show you how to protect yourself. It's okay to talk about it and still be religion.
Right.
So
I think that is important. Like,
yeah.
You can talk about it. Sometimes it's taboo for some folks. But yeah.
Because people just hear sex podcast and they just think one thing. It's like, no, we do more than just that. We talk about all subjects. So, if you want to come on, you can. Talk about the Christian side of it. Definitely welcome.
Yeah, I'll open up a door y'all ain't never heard of. Guarantee it. I'll leave that alone right now. So, yeah, you about to end this, right? Get myself all the way in trouble.
Get in trouble. I'm not saying.
Hey, before you go,
let you go, give your thank yous and let people know where they can check you out. Give us all your information about the podcast, everything.
All the information is Robert Deem. If you Google Robert Deem, ROBREDEEMED, space it, then my mug will pop up. The website is robertdeem.net. The podcast is not the same podcast.com. Catch us every Thursday on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live. You can catch us, interactive podcasts like you've never seen before. So if we saying something, you can interact with us, and we put your comment up there and we go back and forth and chop it up with you right live on the air. So
exactly. They were live today. I had a lot to say.
yeah, you were truly on there in the comments today.
I went in today. I had a subject to talk about. I was like, which is crazy because a girl that used to go to my church, she actually brought up that same topic last week, and a lot of people had a lot to say about it because she mentioned how, like I said, how Kojic is very strict. So she mentioned when she goes visit Kojic churches, because she's not Kojic anymore, she's still respected and wear the dresses and stuff like that. I mean, one time I mentioned to my mom, I was like, let me just wear slacks. She looked at me and said, I can't believe you just asked me that. Are you serious? I was like, come on, I can wear slacks. She's like, oh, no, you're not.
Hey, that's funny, because I remember when you didn't know who I was, and I called you on the line. Y'all flew out of St. Louis because the Kojic convention was there. And this was the first time we saw each other face to face. And I asked you, I'm like, your name is Zella? And you was like, yeah. I'm like, Robert.
I was looking at you like, how you know my government name?
How you know my name at this airport? Like, what list am I on? Like, yeah, so that was the first time we saw each other on the line, and I gave you my
CD?
I gave you my CD
with the wristband, right?
Yeah.
Wristband,
I gave you everything right there in the back.
And my mom's like, "How you gonna act like you don't know that boy? He came up and gave you a CD and a wristband." It's like I didn't know him. I was just shocked that he came up to me.
Right. No, I just don't forget faces, but yeah, that's all the spots you can catch me. And yo, this is dope. Like to finally be able to chop it up face to face again. That's dope.
I agree. Well, this is DJ Baby Blue Diamond on U3. We got Robert Dean. Make sure you check out all his music, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, everything where you stream music. Dope music. The LP is called, for people who don't know.
The LP is called oh my goodness, Remnant Music. All these musics. Remnant Music with me and my bro C Micah.
C Micah, go ahead, check that out. My favorite song is on there. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. Music video is going to be dropping soon. He will let us know. We definitely will keep you updated when he drops that music video. And it's your girl, DJ Baby Diamond. We are signing out.